Hey Mystery, hey Baxter, and hey Michael. How you doing?
How's Toronto?
Hey,
Toronto is I live in Oakville, so you know how Oakville is pretty boring, but awesome to have the opportunity to ask you a question. Um, I'm good at like sort of being very confident with myself in nightclubs. No matter how upscale the club is, I let loose and like I don't care about what I do for work. I don't care how much money I make. I'm very confident in the nightclub settings. However, in the daytime, when I'm at Starbucks or when I want to approach the woman in the daytime, that's when I'm like, oh, she asked me what I do for a living. I feel insecure. And why is that? Like, can you give me some tips in terms of like, why am I so confident in the nightclubs, but then in the daytime, and it's not alcohol, by the way, if that's what you're thinking. um, so yeah, that's my question.
Fair enough. Well, some people don't know that you are a DJ. And
Yeah.
so, as a DJ at nighttime, I'm sure you feel comfortable in those settings. And in the daytime, you can't demonstrate your skill set.
Hmm.
So, I think that's the main issue. Uh, Stick to night game. If that's your strong suit, day game feels you feel that strange discomfort. That discomfort's telling you something. It's telling you that you may not, there may be a better way. Those are my
I
thoughts
think
on that.
also, I think also in the daytime you're limited on how much game you can use. In a nightclub, you can use social proof, you can merge sets, forward merging, backwards merging. You're in an environment to maybe keno more, and there's more options. In the day, you're limited to just um, attraction really, and you've really got to ramp that up because people aren't expecting that in the daytime. Plus I think you need to be in a city that's a day game city, if that's what you're talking about. Like for example, London's a very day game city, but I don't think LA is a day game city because it's a drive around city. So you're limited, that's all. And in a nightclub, in a good nightclub, management has brought all the hot girls in for you to be in a room with at once instead of you spending ages walking around trying to find that girl that you really want. So it's more productive at night. That's the difference.
And there's just so much more volume at night. During the day, it's like there's barely any sets, as you pointed out, in your typical city, right? Like
It's
volume wise.
basically, they're basically bonus rounds. Day game to me are bonus rounds.
Hmm.
But if you want to focus on skill set development, you should go into public gatherings where you could do a lot of group approaches in a short amount of time. And then you can also take advantage of allowing the last group that you've opened to assist you with building social proof for opening the next set or group of people. I prefer night game.
Cool. Thank
Awesome,
you
man.
so
Let's get
much.
to answer your question, Reza.
Yes, 100%. Thank you. Good to see you.
Beautiful. Let's hey, you know what? Let's go down to Jamaica. Steven, what's going on, man? What's your question?
Hey, what up, Mike? How you doing, bro?
Hey.
Mister, I'll be quick. All right, so I know when you are getting good, you spend a lot of time like practicing in like your hometown. What do you have to say for someone that's kind of stuck in their hometown that kind of feels like you already kind of have a reputation, you're not that respected? Like, and it kind of feels incredibly difficult to game. Like, how would you do that? Like, you can't leave, you can't move because you could easily just move to another city and it works out,
Well,
but you're stuck in your
of
hometown.
course, you would just move. That's on
Yeah.
my mind. Is if you're unhappy
Hmm.
this weekend, you can get on a plane and go somewhere. And if you're broke, be broke somewhere else.
I can't move though because like I'm taking care of my dad, so I can't. So I have to like.
Then
Is
then
it
he's
possible to
he's
work
definitely shot you in the leg.
so that you would just recommend just leaving?
Of course. Of course. If you live in a small town, and a lot of guys live in small towns. I myself, well, visiting my sister outside of Toronto
Hmm.
is an hour and a half outside of Toronto. It's too far. It's like living in a small town. So what
Hmm.
do I have to do? I have to forcefully create a project on my master projects list. I call it Project Social,
Hmm.
and focus on that and figure out a way of getting out of that small town,
Hmm.
even if it's just for a long weekend,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
3 days equals 3 nights of fun. So you can go to a new city. I
Mhm.
recommend Amsterdam. It's easy to get to, or Las Vegas, easy to
Yeah.
get to. And go for 3 days, 3 or 4 days, and come back potentially with the new girlfriend.
Mm.
Especially if you
That's
get an Airbnb, it's like having your home there somewhere else instantly.
Yeah.
Just put a picture frame up on the wall of you.
Yeah. Put a picture of my family up in the in the corner.
Exactly.
preferably your family.
Hilarious.
Yeah. All right, man. All right, guys. Take care, man.